2 others went from Pine Ridge, and some went with them from other agencies, and he names who they are. And I kept working in the store and helping the sick people. And it was the spring of 1890, and I heard these men had all come back. And I heard the gossip that was everywhere, and the people said it really was the son of the Great Spirit who was out there. And that when he came to the Wasichus a long time ago, they had killed him. You see, they identify him with Jesus Christ and Christianity. But he was coming to the Indians now, not to the Wasichus, and there would not be any Wasichus in the New World that would come like a cloud in a whirlwind and crush old earth that was not. So here he actually gives you the whole rationale between the ghost dance movement. This movement in American history is called the ghost dance movement, because they're dancing to bring back the ghosts according to the Anglo way of looking at it. This is the ghost dance religion and the ghost dance movement. They said this would happen after one more winter when the grasses were appearing, 1891. So you know when it's happening. This is, so every generation thinks that, what do the people now think is going to happen? Down in maybe some of these churches in around Los Angeles area here, they think that what's coming? The rapture. The rapture is coming. They're stocking in the food for it, and they're getting ready to, where are they going? Well, they're going into another dimension, another universe, another, not another world, but we're not going to be there. They're going to be there. So it's really pretty similar. You see, people have these hopes and expectations. I have to say that the Muslims have this to some extent in their war against us at the moment. You know, they have these teachers who are teaching that in the Iranian Shiite version of things, that the Imam is coming back. The Imam, I-M-A-M, that's how it's spelled. It means the standing one, literally. The one who stands before. He's coming back, and there will be some sort of apotheosis of some kind. I don't know what it is they're expecting to happen, but you're not going to be in it. That's all I can tell you. This is for them only. And so whatever's going to happen doesn't include you guys. But it's a similar idea, this appeal that a coming Messianic person is going to return, and then everything is going to be good for the believers. So you see this Wanakia. They'd seen him. He could make animals talk. Once while they were with him, he made a spirit vision, and they all saw it. And they saw a big water, and beyond it was green land, where all the Indians had ever lived, and the bison and the other animals. They're telling stories about Wanakia, somewhat like the New Testament Jesus stories. And the Wanakia, they said, made the vision go out because it was not yet time for it. Another winter. And once they said the Wanakia held out his hand to them and looked into it. When they did this, all but one saw the whole world, and all that was wonderful. And the good thunder himself told me that with the power of the Wanakia, he had gone to a bison skin teepee, and there his son, who had been dead a long time, was living with his wife. It's all gospel stuff here. And this was not like my great vision. You know, I just went working. This isn't what I had seen. And then they held the first ghost dance. North of Pine Ridge, Cheyenne Creek. The people danced to a dance, had seen their dead relatives and talked to them. So they got themselves into a frenzy, into a state of, what would you call it?
Euphoria?
Trance. Something to a trance. Well, I get you guys are all in trance now, you see. But maybe we'll get it around here and dance up the Great Spirit here and bring your ancestors back in the Cal State campus, maybe. Anyway, they'd seen their dead relatives and talked to them. Well, you can imagine the kind of word that would go around if this was happening. You know, it was wildfire, this was. And the army was looking at all this stuff, including the Buffalo soldiers, the black Wasichus, who were part of the army at that time. And they took part in this massacre. just the white wussies. You know, it's not anyone's fault. That's just what happens in things like this when people get crazy and the other people get nervous, and then they have guns, and pretty soon they start going mad. So I didn't believe it yet. I still wanted to find out more, particularly since my father had just died. So I got on my horse and went to the ghost dance in Wounded Knee. He goes to the Wounded Knee where the big massacre is going to below Manderson. And I was surprised. So much of my vision seemed to be in the dance. The dancers, both men and women, were holding hands in a big circle. And they had a tree painted red with its branches cut and some dead leaves. It was exactly like my vision, where the holy tree was dying. And the circle of the men and women holding hands were like the sacred hoop that should have the power to make the tree bloom again. And I saw that the sacred articles the people had offered were scarlet, as was in my vision. And it all seemed to me from my great big vision. So what does he think? He thinks that this is his vision, that Wanakia has seen the same things he's seen. So he's really worked up now, isn't he? Because, you know, it's very infectious, you know. Then all at once, great happiness overcame me and took hold of me right there. And he remembered the work that he wanted to do in the sacred hoop. And that they might again walk the red road, which is the, you know, good road, the sacred road, the visionary road. I remembered the 6 grandfathers. And that through their power I should make my people live in the holy tree bloom. This is what I mean about the difference in this. Okay, he's depressed, isn't he? His people are depressed. But in a way, he's not as bitter as people like Malcolm X or James Baldwin in their own way. You know, I think he's undergoing worse than those people. I know everyone had a bad time, but I think his time is actually worse. And yet he has a more positive, not positive towards the experience or positive towards the Wasichus, just a more positive spiritual attitude, I think. He thinks that he can do something to improve things, to make it better, to inspire the people, to give their hope, to make them whole again, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you see that, but that's why I like him. I love his spirit. I mean, in the end, he's depressed. Even in the end, everything collapses, doesn't it? And everybody's killed. But still, he seems to have that you know, he still picks himself up, but he still has that.